So I was gonna make a video about casting the Sinister Six for the MCU in case they wanted to do that. But in all honesty, number one, I don't know if they're ever gonna get around to doing it. Number two, I don't even think that they would have the characters that I'd want. And number three, we've already seen how movies go whenever they put too many villains in it. So maybe that's a pass, but I still was curious about one character in particular, Doctor Octopus. Doc Ock is clearly my favorite villain of all time in the Spider-Man pantheon, but we haven't seen him since 2004 Spider-Man 2. So in this video, I'm gonna give you a top 10 list as to who I think could play the perfect Doc Ock, and we are about to get started right now. Before we get to the list, I just want to give a big thank you to all of those who clicked on this video. I appreciate it very much that you're interested to know who I think could play a perfect Doc Ock. If you're a fan of this sort of thing, top 10 lists, comic book movie reviews, TV reviews, click that subscribe button. And if you want to know as soon as anything gets uploaded to my channel, hit that notification bell, go ahead, click on all videos, and you'll know as soon as anything goes up. Number 10, Colin Firth. You may know Colin Firth from dramas like A King's Speech, or you may know him from the action-adventure series based on comic books, Kingsman and Kingsman 2: The Golden Circle. Either way, he has the right body type and he has the acting chops to pull this tragic character into life. Low on the list, but he definitely deserves a spot here. Number 9, Jonah Hill. Recent news, Jonah Hill passed on the part of the Penguin that was going to be in the upcoming Batman movie starring Robert Pattinson, which in my opinion is good. I'm actually not the biggest Jonah Hill fan, and I wasn't going to put him on this list, but in all honesty, he's got great acting chops as well as comedic chops. You've seen him in 21 Jump Street, 22 Jump Street. He was also in The Wolf of Wall Street, so he's got drama chops as well. I personally don't want him in this movie because I think that he would be more distracting, but I had to put him somewhere. I mean, my personal dislike only goes so far, and it's not like there's anything that he's done that I, don't like him. I just think that he's too notable for the role, and he could be distracting, which is why he lands so low on the list. Number 8, Bob Odenkirk. I think that Bob has a perfect acting style to bring Otto Octavius to life. Now the Doc Ock version, I'm not exactly sure, but you've seen him play this kind of role in Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. I think that it would be an amazing take on the character. I just think that there may be a few other actors that could pull it off better, but do not count Bob out. I think he's got a shot. Number 7, Paul Giamatti. Yes, Paul Giamatti played quite possibly the worst Spider-Man villain portrayal of all time with the Rhino in Amazing Spider-Man 2. It was a disservice to him as an actor because he's so much better than that. So instead of giving him a horrible take on an okay villain, let's give him a true shot at one of the greatest Marvel villains of all time. And I think that if we just give him a pass on that last one, he could pull out a super stunner in this one. Number 6, Brendan Fraser. Yes, Brendan Fraser, he's primed to make a comeback here. Yes, he was in The Mummy and Encino Man and Bedazzled way back in the 90s, but he has started to make a comeback with his portrayal as Robot Man in Doom Patrol. And Doc Ock could be the perfect avenue to boost him right back into that A-list or, B+ list that he was on before. Maybe not the perfect fit, but I think that the awkwardness that he can portray on screen, as well as the seriousness that he's portrayed in movies like Crash, give him a good shot at playing a good Otto. Number 5, Russell Crowe. I wasn't exactly sure if I was going to put Russell Crowe on the list, but I decided that it was worth putting him on the list and higher than a lot of these other actors. We've seen him in stunners like Gladiator, and we've also seen him do comic book roles as he was Jor-El in Man of Steel. I think he's got another comic book role under his belt, especially with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He could pull off a great Otto Octavius, and we know that he's great in action scenes. This would be a good opportunity for him to really cut loose as the Mad Doctor. Number 4, Kiefer Sutherland. Another one that I wasn't sure exactly where I was going to put him on the list, as this is a definitely more serious actor. He's so serious in 24. He was even serious back when he was in A Time to Kill. And let's not forget that he was the voice of Solid Snake in Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. He definitely could do it. I don't think he's the best fit, but he's such a great actor. He wouldn't have to be a perfect fit. It would be great. Number 3. Jason Alexander. At first, I wasn't going to put Jason on this list. You probably know him best from Seinfeld as he played George Costanza, and you know him more for comedic roles. But he looks so much like Doc Ock that we see in the Spider-Man video game that came out last year, and he has done serious roles. So who's not to say that he couldn't play a great Doc Ock, that version particularly? And I know it's kind of a stretch because he's more of a comedic role, and I literally just talked about how he's really not much of a comedic character. But you could just see the angst of having been denied all the things that he's owed, and then him really coming off the screen. And he really does look like the... Do you not see it? Yeah, yeah, you see it. Number 2. Rainn Wilson. Almost a dead ringer in my opinion for the Mad Doctor. I think Rainn Wilson would play a perfect classic Doc Ock. Almost perfect. Not saying anything against him, but he does land at the number 2 spot. But everybody knows Ryan from The Office as Dwight. And I think that persona with a few tweaks would be perfect for Otto Octavius. And he's also done comic book stuff too. In Super, he was the main character, and then he was actually the voice of Lex Luthor in The Death of Superman and Reign of the Superman. So he's also got those chops with bad guys. Is he a perfect fit? No, I don't think he's perfect, but he's so close that I wanted to put him as number 2 on the list. But he's no number 1, and number 1, Sean Astin. Sean Astin has been doing these types of roles for a while now. Rudy, he was in The Goonies, he was in The Lord of the Rings, he was also recently in Stranger Things. I think he has the look, I think he has the build, I think he has everything that this classic version of Doc Ock needs to have on screen. Plus he's got acting chops at the wazoo. He would definitely be my personal pick for Otto Octavius and that transition into Doc Ock. So that's my top 10 list on who I think could play the new Doctor Octopus. Let me know what you thought about this list in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. If you're new here, subscribe to the channel and share this with your friends. And if you have a better choice, put it in the comment section as well. And as always, this is Cameron with CBM Reviews. We'll see you next time.